That annoyed me. And
Oh no.
everything else aside from that was good though. I was lurking in yours. How was that game you were doing?
It's pretty fun so far. It's definitely like it's obviously like meant to be a mobile game, but I'm enjoying it so far. It's
Good.
pretty fun. I mean, it's free, and I like the art
Can't go wrong with
style. I like Japanese anime garbage. So,
every time I don't know what it is about like Japanese or Chinese like games and like the language itself. Every time I hear it, it's just like it's like calms my brain. It's like I'm in peace.
right? It's like you wouldn't think that it's a soothing language like either of actually I find Chinese very soothing. I do also find Japanese very soothing, except for when they're shouting. They're very enthusiastic about shouting but all right, so do you want to talk about stuff first, or do you want to go over the podcast name submissions first?
You want to do the podcast name submissions? If you pull that up and then read them off, and
Yeah.
I will listen while I check this down real quick.
Yeah, you're good. I already have it pulled up, so because on my stream I have one half of the page is you and me, and the other half of the page is the Discord that the entries are in. Because I took entries from all the other places that I posted about it, and put them all in here so they all be in one place. Yeah, so I'll officially start the podcast, guys, since we didn't officially start. Hello! Welcome to today's podcast. It's episode 11. Let's go. It is. It's 11 because last time was 10. We were celebrating double digits. So, woo! So yeah, anyway. So today's episode, we're going to start with... Oh boy, actually here. I know you're actually here, Finis. We are doing a contest to name our podcast because we can't think of a name. We don't know. So we're going to let you guys help us decide. But yeah, obviously we're an anime manga gaming podcast. Lately we've been talking about more about anime and manga, but that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But yeah, so
games are just getting postponed, so it's hard.
Yeah, it's rough. It's a rough life.
And I've been recently getting obsessed with anime more and more, so.
And there's nothing wrong with that. But yeah, so we're gonna go over the submissions tonight here with you guys, and then Dupree and I will spend the next 2 weeks deciding which name we like the most, if any of them. And if we do like one enough to choose it, then the person who submitted that, you will have your choice of a $20 Steam gift card or a $20 Crunchyroll gift card. Dupree's a little low to you. Well, I have him turned all the way up on my end, so let me try. He might be a little low because I need to turn up my desktop audio. Hold on. All right, he should be a little bit better now.
Maybe if I change, does that sound better?
No, you're good. It's on my end.
Okay. I was gonna say, because I think Discord didn't have my actual microphone selected. I think it had a different
Oh, that would do it.
one. It might have had one of my other cameras, or it might actually have this piece here, which would be not the best. I don't know. I'd put it on my Yeti, so maybe that'll.
It should be good now.
Okay.
Finis says yeah, so cool. So that's what we're doing right now, guys. So we're gonna go over the submission names, and then we'll continue on with the rest of it. We've got to get you. I mean, I love Super Saiyan Level 2 Gohan, but we've got to get you something that like isn't Gohan, because he's copywritten, like so copywritten.
I mean,
like so copywritten. All right.
I figured I wouldn't ever get big enough to get their attention, so it's
That's
like,
you never know. You never know. It's true.
We can We can come up with something. Maybe I don't know what we can do. We'll have to talk about it, and then maybe I can change my
I don't know.
image thing.
We'll do something.
Yeah. That way, like, mine isn't the same. We'll make it like DBZ related, but like something custom, so it's not.
Yeah, like you in DBZ
Not
style.
Yeah, I don't know
That's
who could do
fine.
that. I don't.
I know plenty of people that could do that. But anyway,
Okay.
I'm one of them. I just don't do digital stuff, so it wouldn't look as crisp. Anyway, though, moving right along. Please. Only Akira Toriyama.
I always get sidetracked.
You know what? That's okay. That's our life. That's what we get for being, ADHD and ADD trying to run a podcast. It's just, that's what you get.
It's hard.
All right. So the first entry we have is from Rebel Josh. He just calls it the Otaku Duo.
Taco Duo.
I'm actually going to write. Well, I don't need to write these down because they're in here. So it's just, so Otaku is just the time-honored word for someone obsessed with something. It's usually for anime. It's actually, it used to be not so much anymore, but it used to be a really derogatory term in Japan. Like, being called an otaku in Japan was like...
Were they not allowed to be nerdy?
Well, otaku were usually, like, you're really awkward single people who were socially awkward and, like, had more stuff than people they knew in their life, and, like, they're just...
That's with me.
I mean, it's...
I'm socially awkward.
But it's not as bad... But the internet might not exist anymore before you pick. Oh no. But nowadays it's not as bad. It's really just generally used for people who are like obsessed with something. Not even necessarily just anime. For example, in a series that I love, which I highly recommend you watch one of these days, Princess Jellyfish, there are otaku in it who are obsessed with certain things that are not just anime. Like there's a girl that's obsessed with trains, so she's like a train otaku, and then there's another girl that's like obsessed with dolls. She's a doll otaku. So it's just a word for like obsession, basically.
Gotcha. I
called really weird the really awkward kids otakus. Well, you were not wrong, Finis. It's a word that in America especially was not as derogatory. Like, we almost took it and like made it a good thing, quote unquote, but not really. But anyway, I digress. That's what otaku is. Now you have a lesson. Woo! So the otaku duo would be referring to us being obsessive nerds.
That is true.
Let's see. We've got a bunch of entries from Blue or Owie. Ban-chan's nerdy reviews, the Natchan and Dupree show, Nat and Dupree talk nerdy. We also, anything we pick, we also have to double check and make sure it hasn't been used. Not that any of those have been used because those involve our names, but you know what I mean. Like, there's a joke one here that's talk nerdy to me, but I know that one exists.
Oh, really?
There's anime, manga, gaming, oh my. Weeb discussions with Natchan and Dupree. I actually hate the word weeb, but I know that it's a really commonly used phrase for anime fans these days. I remember the first time someone called me a weeb on stream, I like got so offended because I'd never heard the term. I'm like that old man on his lawn yelling at kids to get off when it comes to some of the, like, I'm not a gatekeeper in any way, shape, or form, but I'm like, what the heck does that word mean? Like, someone was like, you're a weeb. I was like, what is a weeb? I don't understand. by awkward, I mean they only knew how to communicate with anime quotes every couple of sentences. Oof, that's intenseness. But yeah, so anime, manga, gaming, oh my, weeb discussions with Natchan and Dupree, this one was funny, old taku, and new weeb wisdom. So old taku is referring to me, because it's otaku, but with old at the beginning. And new weeb wisdom, that's you!
Yeah,
You're the new weeb!
I am very new.
But, and then I made a joke, I was like, you calling me old? Like, no! But, I mean, I admit that as far as anime is concerned, I have been in it for a long time, so old taku is sure, I'll take it and I'll wear it. I use the hashtag on TikTok sometimes. Blah blah blah, and then there's Weeb Nation. I already looked up Weeb Nation. That is actually already a podcast. And then I got a couple entries over on Facebook. This guy was like, strong and sweet or strong but sweet? And I was like, like Dupree is strong. And then there was just otaku review, but we don't always do reviews. So, but it's also like review as in just talk about. And then Triamo. So you've probably seen him in my chat before. He's pretty regular. He's got a whole bunch that all come with acronyms. So there's BWNO, which is bi-weekly nerd out. FNO, which is fans nerd out. NOAC, or nerd out and chill. And then there's
we can say NOAC for that one.
yeah, NOAC. Then this one's Now Nad, which is nerd out with Nat and Dupree. And then there's NBN, which is nerds being nerdy. So all of his have acronyms. And then let's see. And then someone else just said the Nat Dupree Chan. All one word. And then there's From Weebs to You. And then Finnis said Red Ribbon Coffee Lounge. Which I thought was a pretty good entry. Finnis, I like old taku. I think I wasn't sure how I felt about that word the first time I heard it, because I heard it on TikTok. And someone was like, blah, 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 old taku. I was like, I'm not sure how I feel about that word.
Like, maybe.
Like, maybe that's okay? Maybe it's, I don't know. But anyway, so those are the entries that we got. So we got quite a few to think about.
There's some good ones in there.
Yeah, there are some really, really fun ones in there. There are definitely a couple I like enough that I could see them being names for us. We just have to, anything we really like, we just have to make sure that it's available. I'd hate to be taking someone else's name. I feel like I'm talking to Navy people with all these abbreviations. Right, that was a lot. It's got a lot of acronyms up there, but they were fun. But yeah, so we'll take those names. Those are all posted in the podcast naming contest, just under general in my Discord, so you can look at them at any time, Dupree, and we can figure out what we want to do.
Okay.
But yeah, that'll be fun.
Good. I think as long as they're not taken, I think there's definitely a few in there that we could.
Yeah, there are some fun ones.
Yeah.
I didn't really limit anyone by saying you can only do one, because sometimes you do one entry and then like the day goes by and you're like, oh, but what about this?
Yeah. Right.
Like this one. So
I mean, more than one entry is fine with me.
I don't have a problem with it either.
The more ideas, the better. I'll take 100. It's okay.
Exactly. But at the same time, though, too many is like, oh no, now I have to choose. What if I like too many? Oh no!
I can pick a new name bi-weekly.
there we go. Rotating names.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Well, guys, so we'll have the winning name in 2 weeks. So at the next podcast, you'll want to show up and find out who won that selection, and then we'll contact the winner for their prize. Yay!
Get that going. That'd be good.
Woo! I forgot to pull out some stuff that I was gonna be like, this is what I've been doing, but it's fine. I'll just talk about it. All right, cool. So speaking of stuff that we've been reading, you have read some more of the Grand Master of Demonic Cultivation, Volume 1, aka Modatsushi. How's that going for you?
It's going really good. I've been like really busy between work, relaxing, shows, working out. It's like my life has been not busy, but I have a lot of things that I want to do all at the same time.
I get it.
So what I'll do is like while I'm working, I'll read like a page or two, and then I'll do some work, and I'll read a page or two, and I like go back and forth. So I'm on chapter 3, so like 60 pages in.
Oh, that's not bad.
So I'm getting pretty far. That's good. I've never read
good for you. I'm so proud.
A page. So I'm getting there. I'm like a third of the, like maybe a quarter of the way. Like a third of the way. It's really good so far though. I like it a lot. If I can like find time where my brain isn't thinking of other things and I can just like zone out, then I'll easily sit there for like an hour, 2 hours and just read and probably finish the book. Because I get through the pages really quickly. I absolutely love how closely to the show it follows though. So far, at least so far. Like I'm reading the pages and everything it goes through, it's like I can picture it scene for scene like in the show, but with more detail, and I like how it gets more detail and stuff like that. So it's really nice. I can't wait to get further in and get more context clues and things like that, more inner monologue that you don't quite get as much of in the show.
Right?
And it's also super nice to be able to like read it and get the conversations and the context and think about the scenes that were happening, but not have to like speed read the subtitles because they're going so fast. I'm stressed.
It's so great. You're like, oh, I can just read it casually. I don't have to worry about it going away or having to hit pause. Like, what did he just say?
Yeah, I had to do that. I've had to do that so many times watching the show. I mean, I still love the show, but it's a little less stressful. Even though the scenes and stuff are the same, it doesn't quite keep me as like on edge reading it as when I was watching that first episode or two. Like those first episodes were just like bam, 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 bam. I was like, oh my god.
Well, you know, they had to hook you. They had to hook you with them. So.
And they really do. It's been really good though. I'm excited to keep going and get further in, especially get into book 2. And then book 3 is coming out soon, so I'm definitely gonna
next week.
I'm gonna be going to Barnes and Noble and picking that up. Hopefully, it's not like
so excited.
Gone.
I love the cover for Volume 3.
Right. I think that is another thing that hooked me, just because that's like my the vibrant greens are my favorite color for everything. So it's like you put that green on the cover and I'm like, I gotta get it just for the cover. You
would really like the covers for one of her other series, the Scumbag Villain Self-Saving System. That series, all of the covers are like a green motif. They're very pretty.
I'll have to see if they have any like what other series they have of that author's, because I know when I went there and got the first 2, there were like 2 or 3 other series.
Yeah, she's got 3 series. They're usually displayed together. So the other one is Heaven Official's Blessing, which is the one that has a Netflix series as well, like an animated. Season 1 for that is out. I'm not sure what the release date for season 2 is. I haven't started watching it. Maybe that's what we should watch. I was like, we need to watch a show. Maybe we could start watching that. And then her other series is the Scum Villain Self-Saving System, or as we like to call it, SVSSS. Because you have MDZS, Modatsushi, and then you have SVSSS, and then you have TGCF, which is the acronym for the Chinese name for Heaven Official's Blessing.
And does the Scum one, does that have like any anime or anything, or is it
so
just the book?
Yes, but it looks like it's all like CGI. So you're like watching a video game cutscene.
Oh, okay.
So the style is a little different. but
Yeah.
it's there, and I do plan. I actually started watching it. I'm a couple episodes into it, and then I got distracted with something else, so I need to go back to it. But
And
those subtitles are
one-
so fast too. I was like, oh no. The Heaven Official's Blessing though, that was put out by Funimation, so that one's been dubbed.
Okay.
Yeah,
Now, is
I'll
that
watch it
on,
both ways.
Is that on? You said that's on Netflix?
Yeah, that one's currently on Netflix. I'm not sure if they've moved it over to Crunchyroll yet or not. Because Funimation's been slowly moving all their stuff over.
Yeah.
Because they moved a bunch of it,
Yeah,
but they haven't moved all of it yet. Like I had to wait quite a few months for Sasaki and Miyano before they finally gave that to me.
If that's another anime that I like, then that could be another series of books that I could get to.
Mm-hmm.
I did start the other two that you mentioned. Well, actually, I started all three technically. So once I finish those, then we could jump into the Heaven's Blessing.
Cool.
And that could be the next series after those.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay.
Trying to remember what all I told you to watch.
That'll be the plan for now. There is the Gurren Lagann.
Gurren Lagann. Yes. Oh, that excites. That makes me happy. I'm glad that I told you to watch that and that you're watching it.
Yeah, I watched episode 1 earlier, so I'm not too far in. I literally just got to it today.
That's okay.
The first episode was really the relationship between the two main guys. The one that's like the timid, shy, the digger, and then the other guy with the sunglasses. I'll learn names as I go, but I just watched it.
Simone is the digger. Kamina is the sunglasses guy.
Okay, yeah. So their relationship is like so far, I like that, and it's really funny. And it's like they have like that bond going. It almost reminds me of from Jujutsu Kaisen, the big buff guy who's like we're brothers or that.
Besto friendo.
Yeah. So he reminds me of the sunglass guy, and then you have the other where he was like, "I'll be friends, but I don't know," and so that was pretty cool. His and the story was pretty cool. The part where they like went flying out of the hole after the robot and his face landed on the girl, that cracked me up. I was laughing super hard. That was hilarious. I was like, oh god, this is gonna be freaking funny if it's gonna have stuff like that. So yeah, it's very, I will warn you, it's gonna get you in the feels later. Oh really?
So it's gonna keep that fun, but this one is all over the place emotionally.
Okay.
Just so you know.
That'd be interesting. It was really good so far, the first episode. I almost want to rewatch it. Because I was like right after dinner, so I was also kind of groggy from eating.
Right, food coma.
So I might actually rewatch the first episode tomorrow, or later tonight after stream before I go to sleep. Rewatch that. But it was really good though. I liked it. The owner guy, or not the owner, I guess, the boss guy of the pit. I want him to die.
Like, I'm ready. Annoying. I'm ready for him to die. I'm only watched one episode. I'm ready.
But I'm really curious about like to get more of the story, or at least if they say anything about like why he was like keeping them underground and saying there was nothing up above the ground and there was nothing. And then the kid, the guy with the sunglasses, he was talking about how his dad's up there, but then it's like, well, why aren't you with him? And he's like, well. So getting more of the story and background there, but then to like where the robots come from. Why are they up there? Are there other humans surviving?
I feel like I should rewatch it as you're watching it, because it's been a while since I've watched it, and I kind of want to rewatch it while you're watching it for the first time. It'll be fun. Maybe I'll do that. So
that's a good one. And then there's the other one. I think it was
Sasaki and Miyano.
Yeah,
that's the one I'm doing a cosplay from. I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting for the wig.
When you posted about that, I was like, well, I don't know who that is, but cool.
Yeah,
Miyano.
The little one.
So I watched the first episode on that. The inner monologue of the orange-haired guy is hilarious. That's really good. Like, it's super funny how he's like, why did I think that? Why did I say that? What
Right?
am I doing?
So much
He's
of
got-
that series is him inner monologuing.
Yeah,
Actually, it's
he's-
both of them.
like, it's super funny. He'll sit there and I think in the first episode he's like, he's got such soft, delicate hands. He's like, but they're definitely man hands. So there's a lot of little funny bits. It kind of reminded me of Aransan. The just like how the episodes are very like laid back and like relaxing, and it's just like a little like story bit between the characters. But I don't know if the episodes will have like any real continuation. It might just be like a story each episode. But it was really good though. I thought it was funny. I liked it, although there was people getting beat up a lot, so I was like, oh, why is everybody gotta pick on the dudes? Come on.
Yeah, there's less beating up in the rest of the series. Oh, I was just typing Copic because I didn't want to interrupt Dupree, so I type in chat when I don't want to interrupt people. That's all. No worries.
I do the same.
Cool. Well, I'm excited. And you started Modotsushi Q, the
Yes, I
Chibi
did.
series.
Those are like, I feel like that's the child version of MDZ. Like if you're too young, watch that version.
This is for the children.
Yeah, that's the child version, so that way they can talk. It was super cute. The little moments between Wei and Lon are still like crazy cute, and it's like, oh my god, like it's just, you can see it's meant to be. It's super good. They're super short, but really funny. And just all the different little moments and things, and having the context from the show just makes it even better. But like all the little things and all that, the drinking, it's funny.
How far did you get? Do you know?
I'm
Did you
10
finish it?
episodes in.
Oh, okay. So you're like halfway,
So,
because I think it's like
yeah.
18 episodes or something like that. I don't remember.
I want to say it's 30.
Oh, maybe it is
So
30.
I'm like a third of the way.
Is it 30? I don't remember. I just
I can
watched.
double check.
I watched them
Unless
in one
there's-
sitting, so it's just like.
Yeah. I
Zoom!
thought about doing that, but then work stuff came up, and I was like, dang it.
You're like,
so there's-
I'm watching my show.
There's 30 of them.
Oh, okay. Nice.
But in reality, they're like, they say 5-6 minutes long, but there's like a minute in the beginning of intro stuff, and then there's like 2 minutes of song.
So it's like
at the
3
end.
minutes
So-
of episode.
Yeah, so like in reality, you get like 2-3 minutes, so it's like an hour and a half of episodes at best.
Yeah,
in
it's
total.
pretty short
But,
altogether.
Like, it's super funny though, and the little small fat character heads just crack me up.
They're
It makes
so
it so much. Yeah, like they're super cute. It's funny. It makes it a lot more lighthearted. There's nothing like, I don't know if there's anything else that's gonna come that's gonna make it like more intense or anything, but so far it's like, it's definitely, I just get the complete feel, like if you just want like a little laugh and to enjoy the Wei and Lon moments, like that's the perfect thing to just
Right.
like relax and enjoy.
Yeah, it's super fun and it's really cute. I can't wait for you to finish it, just because like I think it's like the second to last episode is so cute. It
Is it?
kills me how cute it is.
I'll
But
probably finish it. Well, I will finish it before we meet again for sure.
before we meet again,
Yeah.
Copic, that reminds me, you still need to finish Modotsushi Q. We should do that while you're recovering. But anyway, I should rewatch it. I do. I actually rewatch it all the time. I'll just have it on in the background. I'm like, oh, I'll look over. I'm like, they're so cute. They make me so happy. Oh, but yeah, so if anyone doesn't know what we're talking about, so we're talking about the anime Modotsushi, which is a 3-season Chinese anime, or danhwa, and then there's a chibi series with it, chibi series that is separate but goes with it, called Modotsushi Q, and yeah, it's just really freaking adorable. Just remember, you got a great support system. That's right. We're talking about Copic surgery tomorrow.
Yeah.
You've got this,
Good
Copic.
luck. You can
There's
do
lots of
it.
us to take care of you. It'll be okay. We love you.
I did find, so the series that you sent me for the chibi stuff, I did find that, but when I originally went in, and even when I went in this time when you sent it, it wasn't, I just saw like the Chinese subtitles, and I was like, what the heck? I'm like, this is. I was like, this is what I found, and I'm like, are my captions turned off? And I went in, and it was just my caption setting. It wasn't turned on, but it was weird because when I watched the other one,
they were already on.
Yeah, they were already on, but for this one, you actually have to turn it on.
Yeah.
And so that's why when I saw it, I was like, oh, I can't find the English. And I was like, dang it, because I wanted to watch it when I saw it originally. And then once I figured that out, I was like, dang it, I could have already watched all this. Like, I would have watched, because like right when I finished and then I saw that, I was like,
you're like, I'm ready.
Yeah, I would have watched it like immediately after I finished. I would have rewatched it again.
Oh no. Well, I'm finally making really good progress in volume 2 of I'm kind of powering through it. I've been trying to get a chunk read every day. I'm on page 117.
Nice. And you said that one starts with the Yi City?
Yeah, so this is where I'm at. Yeah, it starts with Yi City. So it starts with sad. Which is why I've been having a hard time tackling it, because it just pisses me off, because Zhu can go jump off a cliff and no one should like him. He's terrible. He's a terrible human.
Is that the one who betrayed the blind Frost guy?
Well, kind of. He kind of betrayed him. He just tricked him the whole time. The whole 3 years that he was with him, he was tricking him and making him think that he was a decent human, and then he was actually so much anger. So much anger for that character.
It's gonna be a hard one.
In fact, the page I'm on actually is an illustration page of those two characters, so Zhu Yang and Zhao Chen.
More of those. I absolutely love it when they put those in the book. I was just telling my girlfriend about that. Like, I wish they would do it like every 10 pages or so.
Right? Because the internal art's so pretty.
Yeah, I absolutely love that. If they did it like every 10 pages, I'd be like even more hooked.
But yeah, so it's all, see, it's got the city gates, and on the back it's got...
And does that one have
this
like
butthead up here in the corner?
When you open up the front page, does it show like the double page of the cover, like the first one does? Yeah. See, I love that. That's so cool. You get, like, the full image of it.
Have you seen? Oh, look at this cute sticker I found in the back. Coppet gave it to me. I find stuff in books all the time because I put it in a book to be safe, and then I forget it's there, and I find it later, and I'm like, oh!
Like, okay.
But, yeah, so I'm finally making headway into that. I might not get the chance to finish it before Volume 3 comes out, but I should finish it within the same week. So, but,
I might do some binge reading this week. I kind of want to do it this weekend, but I really want to play Horizon 2, so
yeah.
I might split my weekend, like one day to reading, one day to the game. And then hopefully I'm thinking some 60 pages in, and I've been slowly reading. If I can get a few binge days in, then I could probably finish the book and get to the second one and start that. And then if I really push, I could probably finish the book by the time the third one comes out.
You got just under a week, because it comes out next Tuesday.
Oh, next Tuesday? Wow, okay.
Yeah, Tuesday is book release day. Don't ask me who decided Tuesday was book release day, but it is.
I mean, they couldn't do Fridays, right? Because that's movie day, so no one's going to do it.
I guess, yeah. It's weird.
I guess no one will go read. But it's like, if you're a book reader, you probably aren't going to the movies. You're probably home reading books. So
why not do both?
Yeah.
I do both.
I might. If it's next Tuesday, I might. Oh man, that really sucks that it's a Tuesday, because like that means I don't want to go to the bookstore on a Tuesday.
You could pre-order one to have held for you.
I could do that.
Yeah.
And then I could pick it up like.
You could
Saturday.
pick it up. Yeah, you could pick it up like Friday or Saturday. Easy peasy.
Maybe I'll do that. That, or I'll just drive over there on lunch. It's only like 10 minutes away, but.
And apparently Thursday is food restock day, so it makes sense. Oh, interesting. I had no idea. Yeah.
I didn't know that either.
Book release days on Tuesday, food restock days on Thursday, movie days on Friday. And then video games, they used to be mostly Friday, but now they just kind of come out whenever they want.
Yeah, they just pick a day.
They're like, whatever.
I don't.
It's Wednesday. Release this game.
What?
Yeah.
I
I
know,
don't
I'm
know.
annoyed with games too. Forspoken just got pushed back again.
Again? It got pushed back
Yeah.
again?
It was supposed to be in October. Now it's not till January. So now they've
Um.
canceled my pre-order a second time, and I have to reorder it a third time. It's
Wait,
like
they cancel every time that happens? They don't just push back your pre-order?
it depends on how far back they push it. So like if they push it just by like 30, 60
Oh.
days, they'll ask you, do you want to keep your pre-order or do you want to like cancel it? And you can click yes. But if they hit like 90 days plus, then they cancel it and refund it and you have to redo it. So like the last time it was going to come out in like March or April or whatever of this year, and they had put it they initially asked like, oh, do you want to keep your pre-order? I was like, yes. And then like a week later, because they said that they weren't sure on the pushback date, but it was going to be pushed back. Then a week later, they're like, oh, it's not going to come out till October. We've canceled your pre-order. I'm like, what the hell?
You're like,
And-
just leave it!
right. I was like, I said I wanted to keep it. I'm like, what the heck? And so then I couldn't even pre-order it for like 2 months. They wouldn't let me do it. The pre-order system was all messed up. I finally got the pre-order back in, and then I just got an email like 2 days ago saying that they canceled my pre-order yet again. And what kills me even more too is they're like, hey, we've canceled this, but you're not going to get your money for like 30 to 60 days. I'm like, what?
What?
I'm like,
That's
what the heck?
wild!
You canceled my pre-order, and I'm not getting my money back? That is some nonsense.
That's
Like,
that's
like-
ridiculous.
by the time the game comes out, I'm gonna be so mad at it. I'm not gonna want to play it.
Right? Well, I feel like that was originally supposed to come out in May because I was like, oh, that comes out
Is
near
it
my
May? It might be
birthday.
May.
Cool.
Okay.
And then it got pushed back to October, and I was like, well, that's fine. There's a lot of stuff that came out early in
Well-
the year that I still need to get through. And I guess now
Now
it's
it's-
going to be early next year. Just
Yeah, now
kidding.
it's January 2023. I think it's January 24th. For now, we'll see. It's probably
Right?
gonna get pushed back again. Don't
Who
trust
knows?
it.
Who knows? Yeah, right. Even like, I remember when Final Fantasy VII Remake got pushed back like 30 days. It was like, ah!
Yeah, like, don't do that to me. Stop it right now. No.
Like, be
Oh,
careful.
man.
Oh
I know. I can't wait for the second one.
no. Right. It's
I
gonna
wanna
be
play it
good.
So bad.
It's
So
gonna
bad.
be good. Well, and we're gonna get Crisis Core in between, so we'll get that to play before Remake Part 2.
Yeah, and I never played the original, so that'll be cool.
Oh yeah,
And
that'd be
then
fun.
Getting part 2, and at least they confirmed that it's only going to be 3 parts, like the original, so we don't have to worry about that. But I never knew that they were going to
Like
do
the original, because it's
Yeah.
3 discs, but
I didn't know that they were going to do the Yuffie DLC, so I mean, who knows? Maybe there'll be other DLCs.
it's true. We
that
might get other
in
DLCs in between.
Yeah, and then maybe there will be 3 parts of the main game, but side content too. So we could end up with 6 games. Who knows? 'Cause
Who
they could end up doing
knows?
a DLC per part.
Well,
which
and
would
the
actually
and the
be
Yuffie
pretty
DLC
cool.
was a pretty decent chunk of gameplay. It was like 10 hours, even
Yeah.
not including all of the Condor stuff.
I will play that once part 2 is like a month before part 2 comes out, because I'll just replay the whole thing, and I'll just restart Yuffie's thing.
And
I did
that's
play a lot of
that's when you'll actually finish that.
Yeah, I got a couple hours into it. But when I started playing it though, I got hooked on the Condor game stuff. I played that for like the majority. Like as soon as I got to that, that's all I
Played
played.
the bare minimum that I needed for the game. I was like, I don't care. I just want the plot.
I know I should have done that because I played so much of that, and then I don't know what happened, and I never went back. And all I remember is the Condor thing. I don't remember anything else.
Oh my gosh, Finis. I want Vincent Valentine DLC, but I don't want it to be Dirge of Cerberus remaster, please. I played that game
no.
because it's Vincent and I love him, but that wasn't actually a good game.
I barely remember that game, and I know I didn't beat it. I played the very beginning of it for like an hour or two, and then I never played it or finished it.
Oh.
But I remember that it wasn't very good.
Yeah.
I didn't care for it very much. So if they do it, I hope that they do like a new Vincent
Retelling.
DLC.
A new retelling.
Yeah,
something
not-
totally
don't do
different.
the Dirge of
Yeah, I
Cerberus.
want something different with him.
Yeah.
Like I
We
think
don't want a remake.
I think a DLC that like is his past might be really cool, because like they touch on his past a little bit in the base game, but like you don't get it super fleshed out, and I feel like his would be really interesting. Oh, we're talking about the possibility of like different Final Fantasy VII remake DLCs. Copic, we're talking about how we want a Vincent Valentine DLC. I watched Maximilian Dude's playthrough to remind me of how much I don't like the game. Christy. Yeah, if you're gonna watch a playthrough though, his is the one to watch because he's really funny talking about it. I like watching any of his Final Fantasy VII content, actually. He's a huge Final Fantasy VII super nerd. He's really passionate and enthusiastic about it, so. The gameplay is just boring. The gameplay is boring. I did lick the cover when I first got it, though, because I was like, oh, Vincent! And my friends were like, ew, why? And I was like, I don't know, it came out of nowhere.
Like, it had to be done.
Christy remembers that. She was there. She's like, I remember. Yeah, and the cover's like all shiny because I have like the first release of it, so it's like shiny and pretty, and Vincent looks gorgeous, and like I have a Dirge of Cerberus wall scroll, but only because Vincent is wonderful and I love him, but that game is not good. Crisis Core is interesting. I'm interested. I'm excited to revisit it because I haven't played it since it came out. So weirdo, it's true. Finis, I am.
About that one. That one's like
That's Zach's story.
Oh, is it? I've always wondered. I don't know anything about Zach. Really.
Yeah, who knew, right? Yeah, that's Zach. That game's Zach's the main character in that game.
Did you hit your mic?
True, I did.
I was like, is that my headphone? I was like, where'd
nope,
you go?
That's me going away. But no, the reason it's sad. I should have been excited for Zach because I was like, oh cool, we're gonna learn about Zach. You barely know who he is in the base game. But no, I was more excited about the fact that you get to go through Sephiroth's like how he became the villain. Because when you start Crisis Core, he's like a hero.
That would be really interesting. Because I don't know anything about Crisis Core. I never watched it. I never even heard of it until like this last year. So
really,
like,
that just really floors me. But it's the reason. It's the reason I bought a PSP back in the day was for Crisis Core.
It's kind of like Chrono Trigger. Never heard of it, never played it, learned about it, and then played it shortly later. It'll be like it's the same thing.
It's
like,
in
I've never heard of it.
No way, shape, or form on the same level. But it's still good, especially as a Final Fantasy VII fan, because you'll have all sorts of fun little like you're like, oh, that's so and so before main game, and like because you get a lot of like you get younger versions a lot of the Turks and Sephiroth.
Really cool.
Christy actually mentions. I was gonna mention. Christy actually says I love the heroic Sephiroth theme. There is, so that's one of the things I love is there's like a new version of One Winged Angel in that game, and it's like a positive heroic version instead of a scary villainous version. It's really cool. I like it a lot.
That'd be cool. Do you think that because they're doing that there wouldn't be like any chance of a Sephiroth or Zack actual like DLC that goes with 7?
I don't know. I feel like we might get a Zack DLC, if not new main game stuff for Zack because of what they've done with the timeline.
Yeah, well, and especially because at the end.
So I think we're gonna get something, but it's not gonna be anything that's like. I don't think it's gonna be like a remaster or remake kind of DLC. I think it's gonna be brand new content.
Yeah.
That'd
be really cool.
Yeah, what are you doing?
Especially because they put him in there at the end of the first one and all that. So it'll be interesting to see what we get, especially with like, and I wonder too, like instead of like just mini flashbacks, if we'll get like actual, how they added like the the additional story content with Sephiroth and like you walking around and he's like flash stories and stuff. I wonder if we'll get similar things with Zack for that. That'll be
Just
really
want
good.
more quoting a play from Genesis. Oh, you just want... Oh, Genesis. Oh, Genesis. Oh, gacked. Yeah, I am really hoping that we get a playable sequence with Sephiroth. That would be really cool. I don't know if we will. Like, I think we'll get him in our party, but I don't know if he'll ever be playable.
That'd be pretty cool if you could play him.
Loveless? Yeah, Finis, it was Loveless. But it would be so cool. Like, I think it would make all of our dreams come true if we could play Sephiroth for just a little bit.
Maybe we get a Sephiroth
just a little
DLC.
bit. That would
And
be
you
cool.
just get to play him for like 10 hours.
I'm down. Sign me up.
I'd do it. Give me the story content, all the background. Like, I love all the extra details they're putting in. It's just so good.
Yes. Kitten, your tiny little claws are hurting me so much through my shirt. Yeah, you have the tiny claws. We call her needle claws because she's so little, so her claws are tiny little needle-like pinpricks of death.
Little bitty things.
Yes, hello, I love you too. But yeah. So, look guys, we managed to digress back to Final Fantasy VII Remake. It happens a lot. My dream is just a spin-off game of Red 13, Barrett and Sid going on an adventure. Can we call it
like
Final Fantasy VII Man Zone?
I feel like we always divert to Final Fantasy VII a lot, and then as of lately, the MGZ.
Modatsushi, yeah, those are like the two. Those are the two things that we've got to fall back on because they're both so good.
If we start the Heavenly Blessing, that might become a new one, especially like if we like the series, and then we could get in if we get into the books, like. Because have you watched that series before?
Not yet, because my life has been consumed by Modatsushi, and I was waiting. I knew I had to wait. Like, I wanted to start him earlier, like Heaven Official's Blessing and SVSSS, but I also knew that if I started them too soon while MDZS was consuming my life, that they wouldn't really get a fair chance.
Yeah, to compete. It just
Yeah.
wouldn't be the same. Well, maybe once I finish.
So
these
I finally
two...
feel ready to start one of the two.
Yeah, maybe once I finish these two that I'm on right now that you've watched, and then we can finish that. We can talk about them as I go. And then once I'm done, we could start the anime series, or is it live action or is it anime?
It's animated.
Okay.
It's getting a live action. It's been being filmed, but the only thing that's out right now is season 1 of the anime.
Okay. So
yeah.
We could watch that at the same time, and then once we finish it, if we like it and it's really good, then we could get the books and we could read those at the same time.
I already own them. I just haven't read them yet.
Alright, well, I will get the books.
I've been just getting them as they come out because I know I'm going to want them. Like, I'm just getting them on principle. I was like, I will read these eventually. I know I will. So I've just I've just been buying them as they come out.
Well,
Look over at my bookshelf that has all of them, and I'm like, boy, read one and a half of them.
Then I will get them. But we can start that next and kind of go through that. I just started the other ones today, but since they're only like 20-minute episodes, I'll start watching and getting through those here in the next week and get reading. I think my life is gonna be consumed by books and anime real soon here. It's like I went on vacation and that kind of like pulled me away a little bit, but now that my life is balancing back out, I'm gonna be full on just binge watching anime and reading.
Excellent.
We'll get back into it. I'm about halfway through Demon Slayer, so
nice. On the manga?
Nice. I think I'm on volume 11 or 12, and there's like 23 of them or whatever. Yeah. So once I finish those, then I'll go to the Jujutsu Kaisen ones and start reading those. So I've got that the Demon Slayer, Jujutsu Kaisen, the MDZS. I got those 2 books. Third one's coming, and then fourth one's in December. And then
and the manhwa, the comic starts coming out in December too. So
do you know how many volumes
excited.
It's gonna be?
I think volumes. I had to make sure I didn't turn off my mic again. I was like, oh, I touched it. I think volume 3 of the manhwa just got announced for Asian releases. And
so
I need to see. Well, I think online, I think it either just finished or it's getting ready to wrap up. But I don't know how many chapters are in the physical volumes.
Okay.
So, but I don't think that one will be super long. But I also have no idea because, like I said, I don't know how many chapters are per volume. We might have a better idea once it starts. Oh, yeah. No, for sure. Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm so excited. I'm hoping that they do what they did with the Chinese release, and they have, because in the Chinese release, they had a few, like, little freebies in it. Like, they had some bookmarks. And I was like, oh, I hope we get those. If not, it's fine. I'll just buy a Chinese volume so I can have the stuff. Yeah. I'm actually thinking about buying them in German too, because the German covers are freaking gorgeous.
Are they? I have to look them up.
They're so pretty. Like,
I was talking to my
stupid how
girlfriend
pretty they
about the Demon Slayer, because I bought the volume 1 just because that was like the first thing to see, like, can I read at all or am I gonna fall asleep still? And so I got that, liked it, and so I bought the full set just as a group. So now I've got 2 volume 1s, because I have the first one. I was like, I don't want to get rid of it because it's the first book I ever actually got and read. I mean, it's manga, so it's not like full novel type thing. But because I have a duplicate, I was like, I should frame this one as this is the first one.
Like in a shadow box.
Yeah. Yeah. I was like, I should hang it up and memorialize my first ever book. Because I've already got a second copy of book 1 in the set of 23.
Right.
If I want to reread them, I don't need to read that one again.
I get that. So one of my favorite manga of all time is Hellsing. Super cool. Highly recommend. But way back in the day, Barnes & Noble did a special limited edition hardback of volume 1. It was a Barnes & Noble exclusive edition. You could only get it at Barnes & Noble. And so I already had it on paperback, but my brain was like, we should get the hardback. And then that's what we take to conventions for people to sign who are voice actors in the series. And I was like, oh, genius. So I have this hardback volume 1 that has a drawing from the creator in the front cover, because I did get to meet him one year. That was super cool. And then a lot of the voice acting cast for a lot of the main characters. I have signatures throughout the first few pages of the book. So that's been pretty fun. One of them I have twice because I got him once on his own, and then I met a whole bunch of them like in a line together, and they just passed the book down the line, and he was at the end, so he just signed it again because he didn't realize his name was already in it. I was like, oh, well, that's fine.
Like,
you're in there twice. It's fine. I love you. It's fine. He's one of my favorite voice actors, so it's okay that he's in there twice. But yeah, so I have like this extra volume 1 that's really important to me.
yeah, that works.
But I can't frame it or else I won't be able to see the pretty stuff. So I just kind of carefully display it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For the Heavenly Blessing, are all of the books out for that, or is that still being
No,
released?
all 3 series are still coming out.
Okay.
Yep. They've been coming out. So when they initially started coming out late last year, proves it's a fake, 2 signatures, no finis. So the volume 1s all came out on the same day, but then they've been staggering the other volumes separately. But some of them haven't been too far apart. So like 4 weeks 4 or 5 weeks ago, volume 3 of Heaven Official's Blessing came out, and then like 2 weeks later, volume 3 of SVSSS came out, and I was like, what the heck? Why are these two so close together? But I gotta wait another like extra month and a half for MDZS volume 3? Rude.
Maybe the MDZS is where the author puts their heart and soul, and the other ones are just.
Well, I mean, it's technically already finished. Like, it's finished in Chinese. We're just waiting on the translation.
Okay. You hit your mic.
These even had, like, English fandoms before they were even licensed over here, because, like, there were basically fan translations of these novels online originally, and so they were immensely popular before they were even licensed here. But what do you do?
Everybody wanted them. It was needed.
It's true, but it's okay. I'm excited because there are some more. So this genre is called danmei, and there are some new danmei titles that are getting ready to come out that are not by this author. They're by other authors, but Seven Seas, which is the people that have been putting out the stuff by MXTX, they've been announcing some new other danmei titles, so I'm excited to get those and get into them as well. I think one of them has an animated series, but I'm not sure about the other one. I know that one of them is like people who have read it, so I know that the shortened name for it is Erha, but I also know that like it's also one of the most heaviest ones people have read. It's like got every kind of trigger warning possible that you could put in a book. So I'm like, but like I have some Twitter mutuals in the danmei community. They're like, this is actually like my favorite one, but it's not for everyone. Just so you know. They're like, I love it, but it's intense. Like, there's a huge list of trigger warnings. Make sure you look them up. And I was like, okay.
Okay.
So I'm like torn. So Natchan, which video game is this one called? This is called the podcast game.
Podcast.
And then the other one is called 1,000 Autumns. I think that one has a computer animated one. I noticed for a lot of them, they're like, I don't know what it is with China specifically, but a lot of them have a like CGI series. Because there's another one that I keep seeing on TikTok that I want to check out called, I think it's Legend of Exorcism. And then there's like a sequel to it. But anyway, that could be a whole different conversation.
I always have to be careful with TikTok because sometimes the more that I like the anime, manga, TikToks and things like that and watch that stuff, on occasion Demon Slayer stuff will come up, and the second, like, anytime I see anything that's like a manga related, I look down immediately, and if I see anything Demon Slayer, I skip because I'm like I haven't seen anything. Like, in Vegas there was a Pop Doll store there, a manga store, and so they had a lot of the figures and stuff. So that's the most I've seen of what the characters actually look like outside of the book. I just know what the manga books show as characters. I didn't know, before that store, I didn't know what color their clothes were, what their face was. Like, I didn't know anything. I just knew the black and white outlines. And so I've stayed away from everything so I don't get any other conflicting images in my head outside of the manga. And then I'll get into the series and like see everything, and I can piece like everything together with the two. But for now, like, I want to like keep blind. Also, I don't want any spoilers on anything. So it's like, I haven't watched the show. I haven't finished reading the books yet. So like, I want to wait.
Yeah, I got a major spoiler from JJK. Not from TikTok though. No, it's my friend's brother. We like popped into their house to say hi for like 5 minutes, and he knows that we both read and watch that show, and so he's like blah blah blah, and we're both like, just act like you're not shocked, it's fine, just act like you're not shocked, it's okay. And then we left, we were like, what did he say that? Why would you? So
like, why would you do it?
Yeah, I'm still gonna continue it, obviously. There's only ever been one time that I had a spoiler hit me and it like made me stop reading a series, and it was because it was a spoiler about the only character in the series that I cared about, and he died. And I was like, well, I don't care then. I don't care how this ends because he was he was literally the reason I was reading this. Yeah, that was my coworker. My coworker ruined that for me. I was literally like 5 pages away from it happening. I was reading it during lunch. She's like, oh, that's the volume that so-and-so dies in. And I was like,
You're like, what?
Are you kidding me?
Man, that's horrible.
I don't want to say Finis because I don't want to spoil it for other people.
Anytime I'm like watching something or reading something, I try to stay away from things. Like when I was watching, what was it, Lost? Have you seen that show?
Oh, I've only seen a couple episodes, but I am aware of the craziness that is that series.
So you don't. I guess. Okay, so
I'm never gonna watch it. I'm
no,
never gonna watch it. It's okay.
Well, spoiler warning for anybody who's listening. If you don't want to hear,
If you care about Lost and you haven't finished it, leave.
But I was watching it, and you know how like your phone and Google are. You watch shows, and it pulls data, and so it starts feeding you news articles and things. Yeah. So I'm just like scrolling my Google feed one day where it like shows you random articles and stuff. And I was looking something up about Lost, or I was just scrolling, and all of a sudden it was like, oh, Lost and season blah blah blah, the island moves, and I'm like, what? The fucking island moves? I'm like, what do you mean? And like I was like a season and a half away from finding out that the island even moved. So I'm just sitting there waiting, like, when am I gonna find out what this means? I'm like, oh my god. So, like, it was horrible. So now, like, if I'm watching things, I'm very careful to look at images or, like, keywords. And if I see it, I just immediately, like, close out because I'm like, I don't want the spoiler or anything. And so, like, if I'm talking to people and they're like, oh, have you blah blah, I'm like, yeah, shut up, don't talk about it. I haven't finished it. I don't care what you're gonna say. Just don't, because I don't trust that you're gonna remember, like, oh, I'm at this part, and you're like, oh, well, did you know about? No, I didn't. Thanks for ruining it. Like, just don't even bring anything up until I finish.
They like have the timeline wrong or something, and they're like, oh, this, and you're like, that hasn't happened yet. Thanks.
Yeah, and it's like, great. So
Thanks.
I don't let anybody talk to me about it at all. Like, it took me a while to get my kid to learn that with video games, where it's like, at one point I got to the point where I was like, I'm not going to give you a game if I haven't beaten it yet, period. I was like, I can't trust you to not say anything to me.
Oh no, Groot, that's awful. Groot was saying that one of their coworkers partially ruined a part of Stranger Things for them.
Oh, really? That sucks.
Yeah.
Stranger Things is so good, too. I really like it. I'm pretty sure they said that the next season is the last one, that they're ending it with season 5.
I'm still in season 1. I like what I've seen. I like what I've seen. I'm one.
It's hard to get the time.
Well, it's not even time for me. I mean, time is definitely part of it, actually, but the other part is, like, because anime is my preferred media, I have to be in the mood to watch real people.
Yeah,
like no matter what the content is, even if it's like stuff that I know I would like, I have to be in the mood to watch it.
That reminds me of what's his face? You know Hank Green on TikTok? Have you ever seen him? He's a science guy.
I think I've heard of him, but he's not anything that pops up in my feed.
I get a lot of science people because I like science experiments and the weird information about like CERN Collider and the space telescope that's out there. So
I watch NASA. I watch NASA, so I get a lot of stuff about the telescope because I love NASA.
Yeah. But so he popped up and there was a video where he's like, I loved season 1 of Stranger Things. I haven't had time to make it past that, but given the recent season that came out, I really wonder and hope that Chrissy's okay. And that's it, because there's all this stuff about Chrissy, and he's like, I really hope she's okay, but I guess we'll see one day. So he has no idea. So it made me think because you're only on season 1
That's
too.
pretty funny. That's pretty funny. I hope Chrissy's okay. Oh, that's funny.
Because there's all those meme songs about Chrissy wake up, and he's like, I really hope she's awake and okay,
And that she's
you know.
okay. Oh, that's hilarious.
man.
Yeah,
If
I
you
need
ever
to.
get through
I
it, it's
I
good.
I know I will. I know I will, and I do really really like it. It's just a matter of when and how.
Yeah. It was kind of crazy. The most recent season, there's only like 8 episodes, but each one is like an hour.
They're
and
like
20 minutes
super long, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, why didn't you just cut them all in half and have 16 episodes? Because some of
Right.
them were like you're watching them, and even though they're good and keep you entertained, it's like I really wish that even though like I'll binge watch and I'll just watch 2 episodes in a row, I would prefer the episode to end so I know it's a good time to pause and get up and like take a breather for a second, because it's
Right.
like mid-episode, it's like I don't know when I should pause the damn thing to get
Right.
up
You're
and go
like,
do something.
when do I do
So
this?
it's like I just sit there for 2 hours, like an hour 20, and it's like, okay, I need to breathe. This is intense. I need a second.
Yeah, Kopic's really into Stranger Things, and she's like, Natalie, I want you to love it. And I'm like, I do really like it. I don't know if I can love it yet, but I really, really like it. I'm sorry that I don't love it yet, but I do like it. It is
I will
cool.
love it when I run out of anime.
No, I mean there are live act. There's two live action things that I will watch at any moment. I'm always in the mood for. It's the Lord of the Rings trilogy and the original Star Wars trilogy. Actually, really anything Star Wars related, I will watch at any time. I'm always in the mood for Star Wars. That's fine. But that's like it. Those are the only 2 100% live action that I'm like, someone's like, Natalie, you want to watch this? I'm like, yes, I do.
Like, of course.
Always. I
know
always
ever
want to
since-
watch those.
Like I've started watching the animes and stuff that you recommended and things. When I try to watch my normal shows, that I would like Flash, Charmed, any of that type of stuff, like I sit there and I struggle to watch the 40 minutes or 30 minutes episode, even if they're like 20 minutes. Like for whatever reason, they're not as captivating, and like I don't get as engulfed in the character and the story. And I used to like fully get like 100% into the show. Now like there's not enough action, there's not enough like romance or the boy love, and it's like I don't get that, and I'm like, can I go watch anime?
It really does kind of ruin you for regular media.
It's hard to do.
And that's why I feel bad for stuff like Stranger Things when it comes to me, because I do know that I like it. Like I like it a lot. It's really I admit it's really good as far as live action series are concerned. I would definitely put it on par with being as good as like a lot of animes that I like. It's just I have to be in the mood to watch real people.
Yeah.
I
right.
just like
Watching
my prettily animated people.
Yep. You need because you watch real people and you don't get the subtle like facial expressions.
Which is weird because they're real people. You
Like,
should get that.
Yeah, you should get it even more. But for whatever reason, the anime, you just get so much more like voice dialogue and context just in like the tone of their voice and the facial expressions that the little anime characters make. And half the time the anime character like facial expression is so little and minute and just partial compared to like a full person makes a real face. But it's like you could make an angry face, and I don't know if you're angry, surprised, happy, scared. Like people's faces, they just don't. You can't read a person's face as well as an anime face. The anime face, you can give me like a little like lip thing, and I'm like, oh, they're happy, like they're flirting, like immediately, like you can pick it up. I know what that is.
Yeah, yeah.
But a person's face, it's like, I don't know what you mean, and I don't really care to figure it out. I'm just gonna go watch this.
I don't really care to figure it out. Oh no.
But there are things that I do like to watch. I just finished Charmed, and that got canceled. I know House of the Dragon is coming out, which is the prequel to Game of Thrones.
Oh yeah.
And I liked Game of Thrones a ton. That was really good. I like a lot of like the old, like Game of Thrones, Reign. I watched Reign. Reign was really good. I love that.
I've heard of that one, but I've never seen any of it. And I watched the first season and a half of Game of Thrones, and then I saw huge chunks while Kopic was watching it. So I've seen like a lot of it, but I've never seen all of it. And,
they're good shows. I like them. And another thing too that I think has made it hard for me to watch like normal shows is getting into the animes that you've been recommending lately. And a lot of it is the BL stuff. Trying to go back to normal romance, I'm like, it doesn't hit me. It's not as cute. It's not as like, it's not the same. Like the BL romance just hits different, and it seems so much more genuine and real and deep. And you see the normal stuff, and it's like, oh yay.
There is one I'm reading that is not BL that I just started last night. I'm actually gonna go grab it really quick because I want to show you guys. It's just right over here.
I wonder if it's the one that has 3 volumes with, I think it's like a beast and boy, or if it's something different. I don't know. I didn't look like the same cover, so I don't think it is.
So I just started this one last night. It's called Perfect World. Yeah, it is about, so these two originally knew each other in high school, and she super had a crush on him. But he had a different girlfriend because she never realized she had a crush on him. Like, and then he got a girlfriend and she's like, am I sad? She's like, is my heart broken? I don't know. What am I feeling? But the point is they meet later in life. They're like 26. So that's the other reason why I picked this up is because it's about like adults. Like they're not, I mean, I like high school romance, but I'm trying some that are like written for adults about adults. And this one, and so what happens is they meet again and he's in a wheelchair now. And she's like, oh my gosh, like he was the MVP on the basketball team in high school. What happened? And yeah, his third year in college, he got into an accident and he now has like a spinal cord injury and he can't, you know, he's paralyzed from the waist down. And it's really interesting because, like, it's very real as far as it talks about, you know, his difficulties being a disabled individual and, like, what he has to go through and what it's like trying to be in a relationship with someone who lives with those kinds of hardships. And I was like, this is actually so good. It's 12 volumes though, and I only have volume 1, so I'm gonna have to get the rest. But
is the 12 finished or is
yeah,
it still
it's
being
done.
released?
It's done.
Okay.
Yeah, it just barely finished. Like I think like a month or two ago.
I get more obsessed with shows or books that are already finished and done and not releasing than anything else, because it's like I know there's gonna be a definite end and I'm not gonna be left hanging on something that gets canceled. And it's like I can have a start, a finish, I know how long I have left,
right?
And I control the pace of when I finish it and when I end, because sometimes some things I'll watch and I'll binge watch like the first half super quick, and then I stop and I'll start watching like one a month because I'm like, I don't want it to end. And
right.
So I'll start like procrastinating watching, because the longer I procrastinate, the
longer you get to watch it
ends. And it's like, I know there's a lot of things that I want to know and I want to finish it because I want to see how it ends, but I also don't want it to end.
But I also don't want it to end.
Know. Yeah. So it's like, I'll procrastinate and prolong it as long as I can and just get through it slowly. And it could take me. I did that with Game of Thrones, and my girlfriend was so mad at me the whole time because I'm like, she's like, "You want to watch Game of Thrones?" And I'm like, "Okay." I'll watch like an episode, and then I won't watch it again for like a week. And she's like, "Oh my god, I'm gonna watch it without you."
Kopic, welcome back.
You don't understand.
But yeah. So this one, because we were talking about how the BL has like it usually feels more genuine and like a deeper. But I get the same vibe from this one. Which is why I was really liking it, because it definitely requires a deeper amount of feeling and an amount of love to want to be with someone who does go through the struggles that he goes through. Because, you know, people who are bound to a wheelchair for the rest of their life, they have to go through a lot. And
there's a lot of things
there's a
that
lot of work
people don't realize.
that is involved in being with them. So,
I almost thought you were gonna grab the that one that I think you just recently posted about being on volume 3.
Monster and the Beast.
Like, yeah, I thought you were gonna bring that one.
Okay, that one is also really good. Obviously, it's very different. It's a very different vibe. It's also the only thing I've ever read where the couple is a monster and a person. But it's really... I'm sad that I'm caught up now because volume 4 has not come out yet. And volume 3 came out early last year. And it was like, volume 4 out in later 2021. And I was like...
And it's still not out?
I'm like, it's August of 2022. So now I have to wait with the rest of the fandom. I don't know what happened. All I know is that it's still not out yet. It should be out soon in Japan. No, we're not talking about Beauty and the Beast. We're talking about a different beast. So you have the monster and the beast. The monster is the demon. He's a giant freaking demon that lives in the forest. And then you have the beast, who is actually the human. And we're just starting to get, like, in volume 3, we're just really starting to get into the human's history, Liam, because there's definitely something about him that's, like, not normal. He has, like, these supernatural abilities we don't know the extent of. It was just kind of hinted at in this volume that he, like, escaped from some, like, experimental facility, and that's why, like, he has abilities. But now I'm like, and now I have to wait with everyone else, and we have no idea when volume 4 is going to come out here. Great. I'm so glad.
Is there, like, a count on how many volumes there's gonna be? Or is
no.
No.
I hope.
Sad.
I don't know. But I really like it so far, and I am so sad that there's no release date for volume 4 yet. But that's okay.
Hopefully soon.
In fact, I had to wait 2 months for anyone to have volume 3 in stock again, because it keeps like being gone.
Well, maybe now that we talked about it, it'll be like the MDZ manga.
Maybe that's right, because we talked about it, and then like 2 days later they announced that, so that was great. Actually, it was really cool. We did we're a little over on time, but that's okay. We'll finish up here in a second. For that manga, so there was an online anime convention that was all boys love themed. At the end of June, that I was able to watch a bunch of panels for, and one of them was a Q&A and live draw session with that creator. So that was really cool, because I was like, oh my gosh, I just got into this, I really, really love it. And so I got to watch the mangaka, so the author and artist, draw a picture from that and do a Q&A live. So that was cool. Well, live, it was like on Twitch, but it was as live as it could be without being there in person, because there's no in-person event for this convention yet, so it's all online right now. But yeah, it was really cool. She's funny. Cool. She's really funny. She's just a nerd like the rest of us. She's like, yeah, when I'm not drawing, I love to play video games and read comics and watch anime. I'm like, oh, like the rest of us.
Just do the normal things.
Yeah. But anyway, so yeah, we kind of went all over the place tonight, but I feel like it was still really good. Thanks so much for joining me, guys. Thank you so much for joining me, chat, and Dupree. If you guys aren't following my buddy Dupree, you should be. And in 2 weeks, we will have the contest winner and name of our podcast. We will announce it at the next episode in in 2 weeks. What is that going to be? On the 24th. And which is also fun because the Dragon Ball Super movie comes out next week, which I believe we're both planning on seeing, and we can talk about on the 24th as well.
Yeah, we can. I'm going on the 20th.
Nice.
A week from Saturday.
Nice. Yeah, I gotta get my tickets still. I have to find out who all is going in my group.
We can talk about that, and then we'll talk more on the Chibi series and MTZ.
And the
'cause I'll
book.
read more. And then we'll talk more on the 2 animes.
Yes.
Because I will get further in those.
Yes.
Possibly finish them. I don't know.
Woo! Cool. Well, thank you so much, Dupree, as always, for hanging out with me and talking about a little bit of everything.
Everything. Thank you. I appreciate it. It's been fun.
Yeah, and I hope you have a great night. And I'm actually also going to sign off for the night because normally I would keep going, but we've almost been live for 4 hours and I still have to get up at 7 a.m. tomorrow. So I'm going to go off and get ready for